Explore exactly what it takes to become a successful day trader and the power of consistency from the minds of the trading's elite. This is the Beyond the PDT podcast. Here are your hosts, Bryce, Tuohey, and Matthew Monaco.
How's it going, everyone? This is Matt with Beyond the PDT. Before we get to today's guest, I'm very excited to announce a giveaway that we have just begun thanks to the generosity of our last guest on episode 3, Bob Knight. Together with his chat room, Turbo Trading, Beyond the PDT is giving away a 1-month all-access pass to the Turbo Trading chat room. This room is full of consistently profitable traders and hours of content to help any struggling trader on their journey to become consistently profitable. To sign up, all you need to do is go to beyondthepdt.com/giveaway. Once again, that is beyondthepdt.com/giveaway. So now some of the audio in this episode, especially with my microphone, isn't the best, but our guest, Dan Irish, microphone was fine, and he sounded absolutely great and was full of great tips. So without further ado, let's dive right in to episode 4.
All right, so welcome to Beyond the PDT, guys. My name's Bryce.
Yeah, and I'm Matt, and today we're here with our host, who's Dan Irish. He's a grinder, he's a successful day trader, but it didn't start out that way for him. So we're just going to dive right into it. This is Dan, and Dan, could you just tell us a little bit about yourself? How did you discover trading? Where did your journey begin?
For sure. I'm a 24-year-old. I basically started trading. Well, it goes way back when I was young. I played a video game which had like 100,000 people playing at one time, and it had a market, and I used to buy items for low and sell them for high, and it was a good experience as a kid. So I always knew I wanted to do something with finance and buying and selling, and I was always interested in that field. But really, I would say it wasn't until later in life, when I was around 21, I got into poker, which kind of opened my brain up to statistics, games of chance, and through being successful at poker, it kind of inspired me to branch out into trading.
And I think that's really cool. I've seen a lot of people myself that started, or at least kind of got introduced to trading through having played poker in the past, just because, like you said, it's a game of statistics, and with the data, you can find results. So I think it's great in that aspect.
Yeah, I mean, poker and blackjack too. If you look at a lot of the good traders, like Tim Grittani and stuff, he started out with poker. I think Roland Wolf, who's another very successful trader, he started out with blackjack, and it gets you into a mindset that is very helpful in trading. So a lot of the people out there who are really successful, started with poker. So talk about, what was your poker story? How'd poker go for you? Were you a successful poker player?
Yeah, man. So when I got into poker, it was it's just something that clicked with me. I was interested in it, and I threw money on there, and I lost about $1,000, and then I just stuck with it, and I found kind of my niche in poker, the thing that I was good at. It was called sit and go tournaments, and I threw $50 on, started grinding them, the $3 buy-ins. I remember them like it was yesterday. And yeah, man, I just kept grinding, and I ended up making $40,000, and that really helped me be able to for a margin account.
So that 40 grand you then used as seed money to get into trading?
Yeah, it was pretty much that. And when I was 16, I worked jobs too, so I've been saving since I was 16, really. So for sure.
Good for you. That's always important too.
Yeah.
Save your money.
That is awesome. So poker, were you playing in a real casino, or were you just playing online?
So I played online, the majority, I would say, all online. I experimented a little bit with like Twitch TV. I played some poker on there. Actually, I came in, I won a $2,000 tournament. I live streamed it, so that was pretty fun, actually.
That's really cool.
Very cool.
Yeah, and I played some, I've gone to the casino probably, I don't know, 15 times. I've had some success playing live cash games, but man, it's a grind. It's like going live is so much more boring than online, because online you can play multiple tables,
Understand, and I do know people that do that too. You can play multiple tables on different monitors, or
there was was last year, I think, the guy who won the World Series of Poker never played a tournament before. He just played online poker. Like multiple games at a time. He'd play like 8 games at a time or something. So he was playing way more poker than like all the other guys in that tournament just because he was playing online, which is, I mean, that's pretty cool.
Do you think any of those, be it, you said that poker to you is a statistical game. Did any of these things that you learned through poker kind of help you with your trading at all when you first started, or even now?
So I would say when I first started, not really, because I was just so clueless when it came to trading in every aspect. I mean, I really had no idea what I was doing. And, that's why I lost so much money in the beginning. I just jumped in with real money, a bit cocky, I would say there was some ego involved in that as well. But now, once you start to understand trading, like playing poker and trading, once you get your system down, it's really similar.
Yeah, that is true. There's a lot of similar mindsets. I mean, I've read a couple books on it, and like I was saying, like a lot of the times, just those mindsets, the mindsets of poker, and
risk management.
Yeah, man. It kind of seems difficult to imagine how they correlate, but they really do.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. How long did it take you, just out of curiosity, to grow that $50 into 40 grand?
That took me, I believe, 3 years.
Wow.
So it took a long time, man. It's not like I was making a killing, it was just money to get me by, and it felt independent, and I did enjoy it.
Now, out of curiosity, are you still playing poker today, here and there?
Oh yeah, I try to play 4 days a week.
Cool. Okay, that's nice.
And I do that at night. It's like a night schedule. I'll trade during the morning and the day, and then I'll grind at night.
I mean, you were in college at this time, and for anyone in 3 years when you're in college, getting 40 grand, like that's quite a bit of money when you're that young.
Yeah, man, I just saved it all. I was luckily and fortunate enough for myself. I was living at my parents and still am, and they've been, they did pressure me into college, but at the end of the day, they've been nothing but supportive, and hats off to them for letting me save up my money and try to do something with my life that I want to do.
Absolutely. So now, you said that this money you made from poker kind of helped you to get started with trading. Can you kind of walk us through the beginning of your journey after you actually started trading? How did you start learning about trading, regarding strategies, patterns, et cetera, et cetera?
Yeah, so Trader Checklist Guide on YouTube, it's like 13 parts. It's a long guide. That's the most basic guide, but it's very helpful. And I watched the whole thing in like a day or two. I was super into it, and I would say that helped me kind of understand what tickers to look out for. And I think in the beginning, I was a penny stocking silver subscriber for probably 3 or 4 months. And I used Tim Sykes' chat room just in the beginning when I needed to know what other people were looking at and talking about and thinking, because I really had no clue about anything.
Yeah, no, I can relate to that too. Tim Sykes is actually how I got started too. First, I found his free content, and I discovered that probably when I was pretty young, later part of high school. And then the Trader Checklist Guide came out, I don't know, a couple years ago, and that was great, and I loved it. And yeah, like maybe it's a little basic, but when you're new and you don't really know what you're doing, it kind of opens your eyes to trading and how deep and detailed trading can be and what it really takes to be successful. And I mean, that was a great start for me, and it was a turning point in my career, and it made me realize like I don't really know everything I think I know.
Yeah, man, I recommend that guide. If anybody asks me, to this day, I recommend it because it goes over so many key things, and the fact that that's free content, that's pretty amazing.
I'll put a link in the show notes for this because like it's a free guide, and again, it's just full of great content.
Yeah.
So for you, Dan, I mean, how did you make the transition from poker to trading? Because you were very successful at poker and when you were in college, and then you discovered trading, and how'd that transition go?
Well, the transition, basically, I woke up, I saw a ticker go 200%, and I went, whoa, there's a lot of upside in trading if I get good at this. So that's pretty much it, man. I just, look at poker. The edges are very small. Yeah, you can profit, but the edges are very small. And trading, the edges are wide. very wide. Like if you're good, you can make a lot of money. Same goes for if you're bad though. You can lose a lot.
Yeah. Important to note for new traders who, like Matt and I, when we were both new, we felt we were going to be hitting home runs every day, and didn't quite work out like that.
That's just super common mindset though, because you go on Twitter and it's Twitter, like everyone's going to post all their positive gains and stuff, and you see these people and you're like, oh, this guy made 100%, like I can totally do that. And when you're new, you have no concept of risk management absolutely at all, and then that causes you to for you, like that 200% stock that you saw that first day, like you're like, oh, it's going to keep going, and then you want to get in on it only for you to buy like at the exact top, and then it dumps on you, and you don't even realize how much money you're risking, and then you're like, oh, like it's half my account.
Yeah, for sure. It's like in the beginning, I didn't realize that every stock kind of flows on a particular price range, and you can kind of see that range and play it. You can base the range on how many shares you're going to buy to really pinpoint your risk. And in the beginning, you really have no idea how to do that.
That's one of the hardest things, and that takes a lot of time to learn how to properly use risk management every time consistently.
Yeah, definitely.
So speaking of risk management, in the beginning of your trading career, you lost a little bit of money, right? Now, can you kind of go through that loss, or those losses that kind of helped you develop some maybe better risk management, and are now helping you out where you're at now?
Yeah, so I mean, in the beginning, I lost $13,000, and if you look at the chart, I've got a profit LY, I've got it all charted. Man, that thing is straight down. There wasn't that much value in those trades, man. I was just being goofy. I just wanted success so badly that I just took those losses, and then yeah, man, the emotions. I wanted to get out of the hole so bad. I was chasing my losses, and it just kept getting bigger and bigger. And before you know it, I'm going all in. Like I'm going in $20,000 positions, just absurd shit, man, absurd. And yeah, 13,000 was my emotional breaking point where I was like, this has to stop. I just took all the money off my E-Trade account. I was done with real money, and I restarted with paper trading for the next 8 months because I had a lot of wounds that needed to heal.
Kind of took a beating in the beginning, it was really tough.
Yeah, man, I never stopped though, man. Every day I woke up and I paper traded that 8 months, not one day off. You just have to stick with it.
Yeah, and that's crazy dedication, because it's tough. You're trading real money, and yeah, you were losing, but to go from the possibility of making any money and then just using paper money, like it's just a tough transition. But I mean, clearly that time that you took to paper trade, those 8 months, like that was very valuable to you, because since then, yeah, maybe you had a little bit of dip once you started with real money again, but you've been consistently grinding back up, and that's been awesome.
Yeah, and something to note too is anybody listening out there that's new, man, just start with paper trading. Just do a solid 6 months of paper trading, because it's a lot easier to go with a 15. I lost $1,500 after I restarted with real money. That would have been a really small dip. I could have handled that, and then it would have been so much less painful. I mean, I did learn a lot from those giant losses, but at the same time, I didn't. You know what I mean? Like, it is what it is, and I'm not gonna say I regret it. It happened, and I go day by day, and yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's great advice, and a lot of people just don't want to swallow that pill that, like, yeah, maybe the first 6 months or even year for some people that they're actually going to be in the market, they're just not going to make any money. Like, because everyone goes into the market, with the same mindset that you had, that Bryce and I had when we started, like, this is going to make us rich. And it's just tough to be like, wow, like I have to practice this with not real money. Like, because just the mindset you're in when you start, it's just, you don't want to do that.
Yeah, I hear some people say that they don't like doing paper money because it just doesn't feel real to them. And my response is, when you're trading with real money, you don't want that to feel real. You want it to feel like you're just in your process, you're in your zone, it's just natural. You don't want it to feel, real or pressured. You just want it, you know what I mean? Like, so it's good practice for your mind to trade with no emotional interference from real money. And you only get that with paper trading.
Exactly, because as soon as you start trading, when you're trading with real money, the goal is obviously to stay as disciplined as possible. And when you think of it as real money, you're like, wow, I just lost $100 on this trade. I just lost $200 on this trade. It makes it a lot harder to stick to your rules.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so interesting part about you, which we didn't really hit on early, was in your journey, you started out in college and then you kind of discovered trading from, while you were in college and the poker scene. And then you kind of dropped out of college. So at what point did you decide college just wasn't for you, that you wanted to follow your dream of being a trader, even though right off the bat, you kind of took a big hit and lost some money?
Yeah, so with college, I never enjoyed it. It was a very painful experience for me. Just the college system, man, it just didn't click with me, for whatever reason. And I was trying to force it. And after a while, you wake up enough days and want to go right back to bed, unhappiness, you're not happy. And that gets to you after a while. And I couldn't take it any longer. And, some may call it weak. For me, it was the beginning of living life the way I want to live it, being happy, and following something that I felt could bring me happiness.
Yeah, that's extremely admirable too, because I think a lot of people just, they find something they love while they're in college or something, and then they don't have the balls basically to kind of put college on pause, put that part of their life on pause to then go out there and chase their dream and, try to find what actually makes them happy.
Yeah, and I would say that a big reason for that giant dip in the beginning was, you see, I had the mindset, I thought I had to be a successful trader to drop out, and I wanted to drop out so badly because I hated it. But, after I lost it, I just kind of realized I don't need to be successful to drop out. I can drop out right now, and I can make this my focus, and I can rebuild in the future. So let's just do it. And that's what I did.
Wow. So what point did you drop out? Like, was that when you first started paper trading, or were you still losing money when you dropped out?
I would say I dropped out right around the time that I began paper trading.
Gotcha. Yeah, and then again, you found what made you happy. You truly enjoyed trading, and that's a big leap to take for a lot of people. Lost $13,000, and now you wanted to still follow your dream, and you spent 8 long months, not trading with real money, paper trading, and that's got to be the time period that just, that was the turning point for you, and you put in the work and the time.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Yeah, definitely. It just takes a lot of time and dedication, but you can get there.
Sure. So building off of that, how much time and effort and, be it studying or just maybe a combination of studying and market time did you put in every day during, starting when you were paper trading and even to this day? Or has that changed?
So since I've started trading October 2016, I've put in minimum 8 hours a day, every single day, except for weekends. I don't put as much time into weekends because I'm a hands-on learner, and I would say the real-time market data is how I learn. So during the week is when I put in the majority of the hours.
Good for you. That's the key to success, is just continuing
it out.
Yep, practicing and learning every day.
So then after you were paper trading, you then came back. How much money did you start with when, you kind of renewed yourself? How were you trading? Were you below the PDT at this point still, or?
Yeah, so my bank account took a big hit, as you guys know. The peak down was $14,500. That was my lowest point, and that was January 2018. I ended up opening a cash account, which really changed my mindset completely. I opened a $10,000 cash account and I split it between 2 days. So I had $5,000 for Monday and then $5,000 for Tuesday. And since it's only a 2-day roll period, I never was out of capital. And it was amazing. It totally changed everything. I was able to, because it added structure. Structure is really important when you're a new trader. It gave me some structure that I had to abide by, and that helped me form a process.
So for a quick recap there, right? So you started, when you first started, with around $30,000, dropped down to, you said your lowest point was $14,500. And after you started paper trading, or after you finished paper trading, you reopened a cash account with $10,000. How
Yeah.
long did that $10,000 account take for you to kind of start building up, or how long did it take you to start seeing consistency in your trading?
Let's see. God, I wrote it down here. Let's see. Okay, so after my peak low, I nailed a $1,200 upswing. That really helped me, and I don't remember it. So I don't know what I traded. I don't remember what I traded or how I nailed that 1,200 upswing, but I guess that got my confidence back because I was able to somewhat sustain myself, even though, I mean, if you look, I was break even from February of 2018 to June. That's 5 months of grinding real money, break even. Uh, just because I needed to get my discipline back and get emotionally strong after losing almost 15K. So I mean, it took a really long time.
Yeah, that's awesome. What were you trading, at this time? Were you still kind of focused on penny stocks, or were you swing trading, or were these mostly day trades because you were using that cash account?
Basically all day trades. That's just the style that kind of connected with me, and day trading reminds me of sit and goes, like sit and go poker, because with sit and goes, let's say it's like a $5 buy-in and the prize pool, you may get 35 for first. It's like a one table tournament. Well, trading to me is like, okay, you can buy it here, good risk reward. When you win, you're gonna get X, and when you lose, you're gonna lose X. So I can't really explain it, but it's like a mini game. Like each trade is like a miniature game to me.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. I mean, ever really, and this just goes back to risk management. Like, if you're going to risk, $10, like the $10 buy-in for your sit and go tournament, you want to be making, more than your $10 if you're going to win. So you want, 2 to 1 or 3 to 1 risk reward. So then that way, this trade, this mini game that you're in, you put in your $10 buy-in, you want to get $30 out of it.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's why I had probably an easier time controlling my losses with poker is because it's a buy-in for a tournament and you play the hands in that tournament. No matter how bad you screw up a hand, your losses is going to be maxed at the buy-in. But with trading, that goes out the window. If you don't have structure and you don't have a process, you can just start doing goofy shit and losing a ton of money.
Yeah. I mean, so could you explain, so when you first started, you were new, but you were above the PDT. And now your second time around, you got some experience, you paper traded for your 8 months, and now you have a cash account that's below the PDT. How did those experiences differ? And yeah, you had structure while you were below the PDT, but do you think it's still a good rule to have in place, or are you kind of against it?
I mean, I'll probably always be against the rule. I mean, the rule is why I threw $30,000 onto an account. If that rule didn't exist, I would have opened a $2,000 account. There's good and bad. There's always going to be good and bad and everything. I really have nobody else to blame but myself, but at the same time, that is the reason why I deposited such a large amount of money. So in that regard, it was kind of negative. I just think people should have the freedom to trade how they want and when they want. I think PDT is kind of, it's kind of against freedom.
America, the land of the free, is the only country in the world
right.
that has this rule. It just doesn't kind of make any sense.
Yeah, man, I can't agree with it. I wish that rule did not exist.
As I think many of us do. Your style of trading is day trading. Now, are you more of a scalpy kind of day trader, or do you kind of have your own style that you've come up with?
I play quick trends. So if I get in something, I try to time the entry where it's like a fresh bullish perk. That's kind of what I call it. It's like the bottom of a new range of this new bullish perk, whatever you want to call it. And so that lets me have some really crazy risk reward. If you look at my win rate, it's pretty trash right now, but the risk reward must be pretty good because I'm still profiting. I'm still profitable even though I'm only winning 35% of my trades. So it's kind of a unique strategy, I guess, in that regard, where it's like all focused on risk reward.
Well, that's just it. And we've seen that with other successful traders is you don't necessarily have to win the majority of your trades as long as you keep your losses small and your winners big.
Yeah. Yeah. And hopefully that win rate will go up. I just, slowly but surely, I'm getting more disciplined. I'm learning that by far the most important thing in trading is actually the time frames. Like, they are so important, and I can't say that enough. I didn't take it seriously when I was new, but you better take time frames seriously because they're everything.
What do you mean by different time frames?
So pre-market, if you're good at pre-market, you can try to tackle that beast. I usually don't. I wait till the bell, and then my trading time is between 9:30 and 10:50. Any entry after around 10:50, I call it the death zone, and you really don't want to trade until around, I would say, 145 minimum. You look at the 10:50, between 10:50 and 145, you're just getting, basically it's just you're gonna lose. Like, if you take a trade during that time period, long term, you're most likely going to lose. I know there's probably some strategies or setups that work, but in my experience, I've never made it work out, and the more I stay away from that death zone period, the better I'm doing.
Yeah, and a lot of people call that, the zombie hour, because you never know what's going to go on, or it's a lot
Yeah.
harder to gauge what's going to go on. Less volatility,
Right. And
less
even
people trading.
yeah, and if something does work, okay, I mean, it's cool, but how about the other like 5 times that it doesn't work? It's better to avoid it, in my experience so far.
Absolutely.
No, I completely agree with that. Like, and a lot of the biggest losses that I've had too, though, are I was trying to force something, between the hours of 11 in the afternoon, and a lot of the times the charts, false signals because there's just not that many people trading out there. They're on long. As soon as the volume comes back, like if I'm longing a stock, like the volume can come back and they'll just dump right on me. And I'm like, well, why didn't I just wait until the volume came back in the first place? Like, so
Yeah.
for me, like it just avoiding those hours of the middle of the day, is a great turning point for me. And I think a lot of people should just avoid those hours. Play the easier hours when you're
Yeah.
out.
Yeah, for sure. And then it's empowering when you get experienced enough to just embrace that. And even if something looks good, a lot of stuff will look great, and I'll go, you know what? I'm embracing my rules. I'm not going to touch it. It's intraday. And then sure enough, that little perk will fail. And then later, at the correct time period, it'll form again. And what do you know? That entry works. So it's like a lot of times you just avoid it. Just avoid it for sure.
Yeah. So where are you now? Like, so you started over again with $10,000, and you kind of grinded all the way back. I'm looking at your profitability chart as I say this, but you are a profitable trader now. You kind of grinded all the way back. So, just did you highlight that journey?
Yeah, man. So between poker and trading, I was able to deposit money on my E-Trade account, and it's at $31,500 right now. Feels pretty damn good to be, over I'm like 6.5K over PDT. So I've got a nice cushion now. It's pretty nice.
Yeah, but like, congratulations, man. Like, that's great success.
One of the most respectful journeys I've seen personally. I think it's really cool.
Thanks, guys. I really do appreciate that. I've put in so much hard work, so I'm just hoping that it continues, and I think it will because I've got so much experience. After that long, brutal journey, I feel like when I trade, I'm more calm. Like, I feel a sense of I'm just okay, and I've got a process. I know what I like. I know what to avoid. I know how to manage risk, and I'm just gonna try to keep racking up the singles.
Absolutely. So kind of start wrapping this up here. If you were to start over again, if you were to start over trading again, what would you do differently? Or would you do anything differently?
Well, if I was to do anything differently, it was to just get stocks to trade and paper trade for 6 months without doing real money. That's like the easy answer, I would say, is I would just avoid the degeneracy that I had in the beginning with my straight down 13K.
That's understandable. I can't imagine how hard it is to lose 13K. And how many months was that again? What, just a matter of 4 months, you said, right?
Yeah, it was very, very short time period.
It's a common start for a lot of people. You didn't fully blow up your account, but I'm sure it absolutely felt like you did.
Oh yeah, I mean, for most people, that's like blowing up your account 5 times or something, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Because a lot of my accounts when I started, and a lot of people, you just put in, $2,000, which is the minimum for a lot of these brokers. And yeah, I mean, you blow up those accounts and it stings, but like it's only $2,000. So losing 14.5 at your lowest point, like that's things. That's
yeah, man. At that point, I did not know if I was gonna make it out the other end, but all I could do was keep showing up, keep grinding, and I just put the time in because I just felt like, it could pay off, and it's pretty nice to start seeing some of the payoff now.
From that grind, that 14.5K low to finally being, you said 6.5K, I think, over the PDT. That was a long grind. What would be a trading philosophy that helped you become successful?
Discipline. Just need that one word. That's really the only word you need. Just discipline. It's everything.
Yeah. Now, discipline though, while you're in a trade or stopping yourself from getting a trade, for you personally, just what part of discipline helped you get here?
I've got two. Like for me, I had struggled greatly with over trading. If you see how many trades I've done, way too many, man. I've paid over $25,000 in commissions. So yeah, I've traded too much. So don't trade intraday, don't over trade. The other important one is stick to your plan. Like you don't know how many times I've had a great entry and I've psyched myself out into taking like $100 win on something on a dip, and then if I would have just stuck to my plan, 2K win. And that's happened to me, man, so many times. So stick to your plan.
Yeah, no, completely agree with you there. And I mean, I've done it countless times as well. Like you'll be like, all right, let's just, take this $100 win, or you'll see somewhere on Twitter or in some chat room that someone will be bashing the stock that you're, longing, and you're like, oh, I better get out or whatever. But if I just would have stuck with my original plan and trusted myself, like you said, that it could have been like a $2,000 win.
I remember that specific example with Matt with UXIN, a month or two ago. I'll never forget that one.
I've got some brutal stories as well. Recently too, I think the ticker was CLSK. I scooped 1,000 shares at $3. I let it run to $3.95. I didn't lock in profits. It had a huge dip, a bigger dip than I ever imagined it would. It went all the way back down to 3. And I sold it. I panic dumped it at 303. So I made $30. It ended up running to 8. It ended up holding and running to 8. So yeah, guys, stick to your plans, lock in profits, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough though too, because a lot of the times when you don't know what you're doing in the beginning, as we've said a couple of times, but you're in these chat rooms and you don't know, and then you see someone who you think has more experience than you or knows what's going on more than you do. And there's a right time for that, sure, if you're trading a stock that's just completely garbage or something. But if you came out and made a plan, you should stick to that plan, If you bought it at $1 and you're risking 10 cents on it, don't cut that loss until it hits your risk, because maybe it'll dip down a little bit, and then if you panic out, you're going to miss the upside that is probably going to happen if you just would have stuck to your plan.
Definitely. I think it's important to point out that everybody in their trading career at some point in time I think it's important that everybody kind of takes a solo route just for a little while. Just ignore all the noise, get out of the chat rooms, get off Twitter, just show up with your own plan, your own scanners, and just roll solo for a little while, because you'll be surprised how much you learn about yourself and your own preferences and your own process. It's really important, I feel like, to at least experience it for a little while.
Couldn't agree with you more on that. For you, what's next? Are you working on anything? Any big plans for your trading? Could you tell us anything you might have coming up for yourself?
Pretty much same thing every day. I'm just gonna keep showing up and keep following my process and keep trying my best to profit every day, and hopefully I'll be able to scale up, because if you look at a lot of my positions, they're 500, 1,000, some tickers that are, that have small ranges. I may take 4,000 shares if the risk is appropriate. But, right now I'm taking very small positions. So the goal is to continue. Maybe if I get 5K profitable, I can start to scale up. And then when I get to 10K profitable, so on and so on. I just want to make this scalable.
Awesome.
Yeah, no, that's great. Out of curiosity, are you still using your over PDT? Do you still have a cash account? Because you said you like that structure, or do you go back to margin?
So right now, I just have the margin account. I struggled when I opened my margin the second time. I struggled for a little while. I would say a week or two, maybe even 3 weeks, getting that discipline down. But it came back, and I'm really disciplined right now. So I'm just rolling with the margin. It hasn't been an issue, and the freedom is nice. So I'm just rolling with it.
That's awesome, man. I mean, just keep doing you, like you said. Just keep showing up, and you're pretty active on Twitter. You post your good trades and stuff, and I mean that's a great resource if anyone wants to check you out or see how you're doing. Because again, you're just pretty transparent. And you show it all, and I mean we'll be watching you, and we're all rooting for you over here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, man. I try to keep Twitter positive and like interesting with stuff that I like, but on Profit Out Why, I post every single trade. So every single loss is posted on there, everything I've ever done. So definitely check me out on there. And I would say for anybody out there, focus on how you can avoid red days, not how you can make money. That's like the best thing I did in the beginning, was just get in the mindset of how do I avoid the red days.
And I mean, I think that's a great line to just end on right there.
Yeah, man.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, thanks for coming on, Dan. It was a pleasure having you, and I mean, your journey again is just fantastic. And for a lot of people, I mean, I'm sure a lot of the listeners, you took the steps to finally go out there and live your dream, and you're chasing what you love. And I mean, there's nothing more respectful than that.
Yeah, man, I'm really enjoying it. Every day I wake up happy, I'm energized, I'm ready to start my day, and that's something that I've looked for such a long time. So to finally have it, I'm super fortunate, and thanks guys for having me on. It's been a good time.
All right, everybody. Thank you for tuning into this week's episode of Beyond the PDT. For those of you who have not signed up, don't forget we're doing a giveaway with Turbo Trading, which can be found at our website, www.beyondthepdt.com/giveaway. We hope you enjoyed the episode, and we will see you again next Wednesday.